Another long week has passed. Day by day, waiting for yet another Tuesday to come. For another Card Magic Practice live stream session on OTHMARIUS Magic. Spike Medley is super hyped. I'm so ready. Just now watching the glide on your channel. Narismith says, hi, did I misunderstand your message on Discord? Thought you cannot make it today. Well, it's like Christmas for you, dear Narismith. I can make it today. She Does Magic says, hi, She Does Magic. Mike Fenrick, hi, how good people. Akuma Snow is in the house. Hey, OTHMARIUS, off and ready for Sesh. Yes, Sebastian Hensel is there. Hey, everybody, hey. Here we go. Let's not waste too much time here. I'm ready in a second. Oh yeah, baby. OTHMARIUS Magic. Like and subscribe. Ciao ragazzi and good evening. My name is OTHMARIUS, but you know that, right? Welcome back to another Card Magic live practice jam session here on my channel. I'm so happy you guys are all tuning in, and I don't know what's happening here. It looks like a lot of fog is going on. What did I do here on my OBS thing? I don't know. Anyways, I'm glad you're tuning in, guys. Today is going to be a super amazing session because the chapter of the Royal Road to Card Magic, the last chapter of part 2 of this epic book, that has been a game changer for me. In the sense of understanding what card magic is all about when I first read it. And of course, I'm going to share this with you today. And this, of course, is nothing new if you have been following me here on these live streams, because I kept saying the whole thing over and over and over again. But today we're gonna find a new angle here, because for the very, very first time, really in the Royal Road to Card Magic, we are confronted with a style of magic which is on vogue these days, which is the card magic everybody is going for in our time and age. Since the book was published in 48 for the very first time, and then very shortly after that once again in 1951, a lot of things changed in card magic. But still, things written in this book are absolutely relevant. And the question here is, why is that so? Why has there been such a change in card magic? And how do we incorporate the message or the knowledge of the book into our time and age? This is kind of the general topic, the premise, the hindsight. We're going to look into this chapter today, but also, of course, we're going to learn some pretty awesome color changes. And as a matter of fact, I believe it was last session or the session before, we were watching together one of my performances, right? Where I fooled myself, a performance I uploaded on YouTube 4 or 5 years ago, where I fooled myself like only legends do, you know? And it's a chapter now where the key move is explained here. And I could, of course, then recap it. And now I know how to do it again. And we're going to talk about this. Pretty awesome. But of course, before we dive deeper into the material, where am I? I want to, by the way, 6 folks watching right now. Welcome everybody. We have a new OTHManiac in the house. The guy's called Hey You the Clown. And I just want to bring this up here because he joins here between Hans Fuchs and Louis Pedersen, and there's quite different in the profile pic. You know, we got here Louis Pedersen with a very civil profile pic, like a very healthy person, as it seems. And then we got Hans Fuchs here, posing on his yacht, you know, making a big holiday in, I don't know, in somewhere on the ocean. And now there in the middle we got Hey You the clown, and he's got this, I don't know if you can see it on the screen you're watching, but that is kind of a creepy clowny profile pic, and I love it very much. So Hey You the clown, very welcome to the club, very welcome to the OTHMARIUS. That's what my patrons decided to call themselves some time ago. Now I watched, I of course looked the guy up, and I just want to start here. With this because he got a little bit on YouTube here. We got here, hey you Shrin clown, and I just want to show you this clip 2 years ago, which he uploaded, and this made me genuinely laugh. Can you say it like this? Let's watch this to get started here. Showing his business card. Great job, clown. Hey you. Very nice little thing here. Let's turn the music back on. Of the classic rope routine, right? The professor's nightmare, I believe, with three different ropes of different length, and then they become the same length, and they become one or something. I don't know. I thought it was genuinely funny. I'm repeating this word here, which I can't actually say. Genuinely, you know, I thought it was funny to bring this in this card format in this very simple way, and they kind of using it as a display for the business card, you know, which is seems to be, which I guess is a challenge always when you're out there as a professional, you know, to get your business card right. Thank you all so much for your support, my dear OTHMARIUS. It really means a lot to me. And hey you, the clown, welcome to the club. Amazing. So that's out of the way. Of course, we are listening here again to the royalty-free planet. I also always give these guys a free shout out. And I asked them here in the comments because they just have they had a milestone, 500 videos, and the channel is kind of growing healthily. And so I asked them if they have a kind of system also to collaborate with the artists they promote on the channel, and I got a really nice feedback here. This kind of YouTube at its best in all this chaos and all this copyright fraud and copy ID system abuse chaos. This seems to be working well, and some people are getting it right, and we content creators, we will find a way, you know, to navigate through all the craziness out there. Because the latest news is that kind of YouTube's sued an individual for copy fraud abuse, which is kind of wow, that something's happening there. But I don't want to get deeper into this one. Music is very loud. I'm sorry. I'm doing it wrong again. I don't want to get too much into stuff like that. So let's get back to the Royal Road to Card Magic here. The miscellaneous flourishes, right? Here's the deal. Here's the thing. I'm not a native English speaker, as you might realize, and I did not know the word miscellaneous. And I was like, for me, it sounded like very special, you know, like kind of mystical, magical, something super legit, something very important in an antique or old word, you know. So I looked it up, and I found it just means additional shit, some other stuff, you know, like diverse, something else, nothing special, something there. And then in this section, we are confronted with color changes, with visual card magic. And this seems to be a contradiction in the first place, right? Because today we live in an age where visual magic is the focus. Since we're living in an age of video and social media, and especially kids and younger folks who who become interested in the art form, they are confronted with stuff like that, and they learn about all these crazy sleight of hand moves, card controls, color changes, and all of this stuff is kind of created to create the maximum visual impact. And the stuff looks pretty amazing on camera. And you do a music video like clip with these things, a collage or something, and you create this impression of this insane, powerful visual magic. And who got embroiled in the 50s of the 20th century, they say this is, you know, additional stuff. You get, huh? What does that mean? And let's go here to the card table. My camera, turn the camera on. Let me get reading this here. It is actually on page 172. It says a bit of byplay, and I just want to read this, guys. So this is basically a color change. We get explained here. Let me show you this very briefly. So how is it here? Yeah, something like this. So we have a color change, and we show the top card. Yeah, we have a double. We show the card. We lose the card in the deck. Is it like this? No. How do they say? Double lift the two cards at the top of the pack and show them as one. Replace them on the pack. Take the top indifferent card and without showing its face, thrust it into the center of the pack. Hold the deck in the left hand in readiness for the color change. Right. It's this color change. How it is? Right, like this. Right, like this. I turn the cards over, and then I would perform it like this. Now I just bring the card here back to the top. That's the trick. So we have a double lift color change routine, and today this is in everybody's repertoire, and it's quite centered. And they now say that this is supposed to be just a bit of byplay. Let me read this. Incidental bits of business that are done offhand are sometimes remembered when more pretentious effects are forgotten. Now there are two ways of reading this sentence. Incidental bits of business that are done offhand are sometimes remembered when more pretentious effects are forgotten. Now is this here a real advice? Have something like this at hand in case you forget the more pretentious, the more difficult, the more sophisticated stuff? Or is it read as an advice in the sense of a show element? You know, so would you really, at a certain level, forget what you want to do on stage so that you have something to fall back onto, like a safety net? Or is it something that you bring in there in between, just as a byplay? Obviously consciously, but just kind of pretending you forgot. For this reason, minor byplay should be used whenever possible. You should always give the impression that you do these things on the spur of the moment. On the spur of the moment, right? And they keep on here at the end of then now explaining this little color change ambitious routine. A trick of this type should be played down. It should be played down. In other words, such occurrences are so common with you that you do not even think this one important enough to comment upon. Okay, like this is like kind of what the hell. This is kind of like really important. Now, we live in a time and age, and I just repeat myself here, where this thing is what everybody's aiming for. And Hogarth and Brouet, they say, this is something you should play down, you should just put in as a byplay, and when performing it, you do not bring any attention to it, as if you do this all the time, as if it's not important to you. Now, how card magic changed since the 50s of the 20th century. Isn't that crazy? Now this stuff is now what everybody wants to go for, and everybody wants to learn the latest slide and the most visual, the cleanest effects. But here we are in the 50s of the last century saying, that is just a byplay, and you do not bring extra attention to it. You don't even value it. And the question is why? Why is that so? And does the change of magic today override this? I don't believe so. I don't think so. I believe it's just because the technological revolution, the revolution of the internet, the revolution of social media, has just added kind of a different channel to magic. Besides the aspect of artists or teachers being able to gain a wider reach, to promote themselves, their products, to advertise themselves, and also just homies like us and hobbyists and autodidacts, just getting in touch with the community, recording stuff, and then just getting it out there and seeing how it works. It's just another channel. But the magic Hugues and Breuer referred to, real life performance situations, with real interaction, with real life interactions with people, this is out there, this is still out there too. And this did not change at all. And here's a challenge now for us, is to navigate in these different channels, in these different fields. And my take is always the one, and this is where I always lay the emphasis on. We learn all this to become performers of magic in a real world, in a real life situation. Now we might, if we have the time, and if we are passionate enough, or maybe we need it to promote ourselves, we can use this channel that we are using right now and focus on this a little bit, to get these crisp color changes down and so on and so on. But for us as performers on the streets, in the bars, at the table, wherever, the emphasis or the importance is to understand that these things have a different meaning and a different value in the setting. And I said it in the stream before, and I said it in the stream before, and I said it in the stream before, and just repeat myself. It is an act of interaction. Magic is a performing art that lives and breathes from the interaction with your audience. That means you need to build a relationship with your audience within the premise of your routines, of your performances, and you want them to engage. And you do not achieve this when you just hit them with one thing after another. And also, in real life situations, you do not want to perform one difficult slide after another. You want to make your life as easy as possible. You want to create the greatest range of effects with the least means and the easiest means possible to yourself. And all the emphasis and all the effort is going into your performance, into your interaction with your audience, into your presentation, right? So in that sense, we read this chapter now. We go here. And when I first read it, this really made me thinking about it. And when I understood it, and of course, I'm always saying this is just my take on the whole subject. Don't take my take on it as the last word or something, right? This is just me reflecting on in my learning process on the art form, and I'm sharing this here on YouTube, having a great time with you guys. So this is the premise. This is where we are. So if we do these things, they are embedded in our whole routine, which breathes from the interaction and the engagement with the audience. And this stuff then is only byplay, right? This is really, really important. The Magic Corner is announced and says hello again. Hello, Magic Corner. I hope everybody got a deck of cards out so that you guys make this quality time for yourselves. Let's go to the card table. So now, the first color change we learn here is one where we steal the card from the bottom of the from the top of the deck with the card with the deck held face up. And what we do is we push the card with our index finger forward a little bit, and then we pick it up in this manner. We point to the card, and then of course when we come back, we lay it there on top. Did you guys notice one? Here's the thing. Of course, you don't wanna do it like this. That's obvious. It's just like with the classic earthness color change. You don't want to have the corner here going forth. This just gives it away, and even the whole hand motion going forward gives it away. So then you cover this by just laying your hand on the deck, trying to get the card forward without this pushing motion to be too obvious, right? So how the heck, and I don't think it's so well explained here how to navigate around this problem. And the other thing that's kind of tricky is you got to practice a little bit pushing the card forward. And because usually when you're in this position, you got the tip of the index here resting at the back, and when you push just like that, nothing moves. I guess this is just physics, and at least it's my tip of the index doesn't really gets grip here, enough grip. So I need to come to a position where basically the flesh of the tip of the whole finger gets hold of the card in order to push it out. Like subtleties like this, you have to figure out for yourselves in a move like this where to go this. It's just like with this card production here with the one-handed cut where it comes out. Now I didn't get it. What is going on with this deck here right now? So I come here and then I push the card out like this, right? And it is when you go in there, when you get into this position where the index finger gets stuck here in the middle, when you all you got to do is basically push the index finger out. So first it's the fingernail who slides over the card, of course. Then it's the very tip who slides over the cards, and then the flesh of the base of the center here of the tip gets contact, and that's when the card starts coming out, right? That's for the hot shot, right? So a little subtlety here. And now we got, and Hugard and Bruet, they explain it like this, that you basically are chatting with your audience and you're just getting over the cards with your hands a couple of times, so kind of sucker moves, so that this is innocent. And at a certain point you come in there, you push the card forth, and now you take it away. And of course, this, how do you do this? Now I'm sitting here, and this is, I don't get into any body movement that satisfies me pulling this move off. So just let me get up a little bit, and let me give this a try here for a second. I hope the camera doesn't die. And this is just a little explanation here also. Let's get the camera up a little bit, maybe like this. That you see how you work with your whole body when you move. So actually, I would come to a motion like this. It wasn't so much perfect, but I would swing to the left. I would swing to the left to display the cards, but go up higher like this. Oh, okay, you can see it in the small camera. Let me give it a try in the small camera here. So I come up at like this, and I would show it like this. Did you see? Now this motion of pulling the card out becomes very innocent. And now when I come back again, I can bring the card on top here, also in a very innocent motion. So it would be, one more time, also here with the camera, so the angle is not so great. So naturally when I'm standing and there is people now around me, this motion, so I'm talking with my people, with the people, with my audience, I come around here, I would go like this. Look. And I see it. And when I come back again here, I go like this. Now I never did this before. I would have to practice this a little bit to get into more motion. I would try to get this. That did suck. I would try, of course, to get this into a groove where this pulling out of the card really becomes very, very tiny motion. So I would try to optimize this moment here where I bring the card up. and when I come back again, I would try to throw it more to go there. But you get the idea, right? And of course, this is true for everything we do in Magic. You have to make this work for yourself, and practicing for a mirror always helps. Very nice color change. Of course, there are other options to get hold of the card. Something that is much easier, something like this. Yeah, there are other techniques of palming a card. I don't want to go too deep into this one here because we're gonna stay with the Royal Road to Card Magic, and this is still a very nice technique to get started there. Now the rest of the chapter basically incorporates a technique where we're working with our index finger in the opposite direction. So here we were pushing a card out, and now we are pushing cards inwards. Okay, so we are at this point. Let me show you this. This is the pop-up card, which I feature in my tutorial series, the my 5 most valuable card productions in card magic. If you haven't seen that one, it's a really nice magical effect where you can create the illusion of a card come rising from the center of the pack. And you can do this with the magic wand, right? You can just like wave over it, tap on it, and then the card comes rising, just like that, out of the deck. And if you do this with a card control, if you combine it with a card control, so let me see if I can pull off a card control here. We got the 8 of diamonds here, and I just place the rest of the deck on top of there. I give them cards a little shuffle. I give it another shuffle. Now I controlled it back to the bottom, which was stupid. I didn't need that. So the card is lost in the deck, right? What was it? The 8 of diamonds. And see, with my magic wand here, I just wave, I tap, I wave, and then the 8 of diamonds comes to the top of the deck. Very, very, relatively easy. Just give it a try, you know? You just get the deck into this grip, into this position, and then you come with your index finger and you push the card forward. So you can perform this again standing in this for your audience. You can perform it like this. Now here's the camera is really low now, so you see the index finger, but from a higher angle you wouldn't see it. Push it forward, boom. Of course you can, I also showed this in this tutorial, reverse this. You push it with your index finger up. Very simple. Very simple, and I explained this in this tutorial pretty much in detail, why this doesn't matter so much that this is so easy. Laymen enjoy this very much. So here we go. We have a very simple technique. We have 2 applications for it already, and we are performing visual magic, which, however, we just should not emphasize as the coolest, craziest shit that can be done. It is just a byplay, right? It's so common to us. We just do this offhand, random. Now there is this other color change. It's a double color change where we now, let's go for the double color change, because this got me thinking. Now the double color change here, you can use as an ace production, probably as a 4 ace production, but just let's go for 2 aces or 2 queens or whatever. And you want to bring some cards out. Say you want to do it a sandwich trick with 2 queens, and you want to bring 2 queens out, and you could set it up or something. So how would this be? So all the cards would be on top of the deck, right? So we got all them cards on top of the deck. We give them cards, a little bit of shuffling. You know, we've been through false shuffling and false cutting enough. You now know, guys, how important those techniques are. And then here we are. Now, we have a spectator stopper somewhere in the deck. We cut right to this position. And now we do the same thing. I would be standing here again. Oh, man, this deck is so sticky. I don't get it out here. That's crazy. By the way, I just learned these techniques today. Never done them. I don't get it out here. There, now I get it out. This is what I have to practice. Now you catch the card, as I just explained, standing. You perform the color change here. The ace appears, and then your hand goes down, and the other ace appears here. Very shittily performed. Extremely shittily performed. But we do this again. Now, and from this position, what could you do? You can just throw this here. You can throw this here. You can give it another little shuffle. And you say, let's see if we can find the other aces. Once again, we have spectator stoppers. We cut there into the direction. And again, again, I'm failing here. We are here. We place the card. And we make the color change. And we go down here and we make the color change. Great. Now we produced 4 aces in a very magical way. A double color change. Didn't know that existed. So what we got? We got the 4 aces on top of the deck, right? Obligatory, we do a little false shuffle. We don't bring any emphasis to it. We just do that because we're magicians. We have a spectator decide where to cut. We cut here, and then we cut in a manner so that the cards are overlapping. And now we have to, first of all, now we push the bottom card here, the top card out. This deck is annoying me. We do our color change as we have learned it. And at the moment where we come to place the card here on top, we pinch the bottom card here, the former another ace. We lay it out on top here, and at the same time we push this ace in. All right? Now we got 2 aces placed, and we show the first one, we wait a second, and we show the second one. That's it. Now in general, I understood this move. I like it very much. It is very easy, a double color change. All you need is to have your target cards on top of the deck. So you can, for example, for 2 spectators, you can have 2 cards lost in the deck. You control those 2 cards to the top of the deck, and then you are ready to perform a very lovely card production for 2 people. Now, the technical challenge I have here right now is that this deck is super sticky. And I have troubles to push the card out here from this position. This is something where that's not even real. And I'm the guy, I say I don't excuse the cards. I don't know what is going on here. Now I have to figure this out. And this is how you practice. Now it's really, I'm wondering, is it a matter of the cards? Let me take here a pretty new bicycle deck. So I'm doing the same thing. I cut the cards, and I have the same problem. It doesn't really make it better. So something is not right in my hands. Now I got it loose. So when I got it out, next challenge is to get hold here of the bottom card, or respectively the top card, to push it in there. And then also the challenge is to push it in there so that it's flush here at this thing. Of course, this is just a technical issue. This is what you gotta practice then. Bring it in. Why? How do you have to hold it? Where are the pressure points? And you're good to go. But a very nice, it's a very nice, see what's happening when I push it in? Now, I'm just doing this one. I'm just trying to pivot here a card and then push it in. And when I push it in, you see what's happening? The lower card comes up a little bit. Now maybe we are in this position anyway. You can balance this out with the base of the palm. But of course, I always aim for the cleanest execution. And now I do this until I figure out, now this is now a little example of how to practice stuff. I figure out why this is. Where is the pressure points? Why does the lower card here go with the lower card here? Why does it go with this card I'm pushing forward? This one. That's not supposed to happen. And then you just have to do this as many times, as long as it takes, until you get the neck out of it, until you understand what is the problem. Yeah? Finding the difficulty, finding the challenge, finding the problem, and analyzing the problem. It's a huge part of mastering a slide, because as soon the worst thing you can do is just blindly practicing. You want to analyze the problem, and as soon as you realize what the problem is, you can start working on it. All right? Anyways, very beautiful, very beautiful. So I feel like I keep rolling here with the Now I put the tally hose into the bicycle package. This is totally uncivilized. What's going on in the chat here, guys? I'm losing myself in this little study here. Yeah. Hello again, Magic Corner. Hi everyone. Norbert Kusar is in the house. Norbert, hey, Norbert, hope you're still there. And then Ronald Faber asked, "What are you drinking?" I'm drinking Sternburg Radler. Yeah, this is not a commercial. I don't have any commercial or advertisement things. I'm just answering a question here. This is one of the cheapest beer brands you can get in Germany, and this is also mixed with how do you say this? Limonade, lemon juice. Alcohol and sugar. It's the two most important ingredients for a healthy diet. All right, alcohol and sugar. You need to consume every day. Okay. Let me have a little break here. And then I want to show you this absolutely fantastic epic color change where you do this. Where you do this. You have a card. You have a card at the top of the deck, and you pick it up and it changes into another one. This is the best slide in Royal Road to Card Magic. This is absolutely crazy, absolutely cool. Shall I do this again? I love this so much. Gonna show you the card that's on top of the deck. It's a Joker, and obviously as soon as I grab the Joker, it turns into the 10 of clubs. And now we're ready to do some other really nasty stuff. For example, I'm just bringing the 10 of clubs here, right there. How do I do this? Right there in the center of the deck. This is the routine I was talking about. So the 10 of clubs is right here in the center of the deck. Now, if I push it into the deck, flush with the deck, it would come immediately rising to the top. So let me take some of the cards here from the center of the pack and bring it on top here. Now you can see the 10 of clubs is pretty much at the bottom of the deck. So now when I push it in, we have a little bit of time, right? As it moves upwards. So that if I turn over now the top card and the second from the top, you will see something, you would see something extremely cool happening. Still the card is rising to the top. I just give it a little bit of time. No, it's not there yet. Is it there yet? It's not there yet. And there the 10 of diamonds comes. Isn't that crazy? Because the 10 is super ambitious. I just take the 10 and I place it here in the center of the pack. And again, I wait a little bit, maybe I rotate the deck, and then the 10 comes back jumping to the top, Little beautiful, ambitious card routine, which starts here with this absolutely beautiful color change. It is something that laymen will enjoy so much. Violent Vegan is in the house. Hey, Violent Vegan says, I'm enjoying the bottom slide reveal. I think your average guy would love that. Which bottom slide reveal? This the double. You mean this double? This double color change as a reveal? So how are we rolling here? No, so I didn't make a break. I just keep on rolling here. So how are we rolling? We are in this grip, right? Maybe I do an extra tutorial on this one. We're in this grip here. Then we come with our right hand middle finger or ring finger going in there, pulling the card out to display them to the audience, like that. And in this position, when the focus of the audience lies here, we're going to pivot again here the bottom card, like for this other production. And now when we come to pick the card, we push this card forth. And then we pull it out as one. And now we hold a double, right? Isn't that cool? And from there, of course, we can go wherever we want. In this scenario here, I take the card and I place this pretty much at the top of the deck, from this position face up at the downside. I turn over the deck and now I say, look, when I push the 5 of diamonds flush now, because it's ambitious, it comes jumping back to the top. And while I do this, I push it out again here, and at the same time my index finger pushes the 5 of diamonds in there. Now, I say, look, I need some time here. I need to buy myself some time. You can see the 5 of spades is pretty much at the top of the deck. So I take some cards from the center, and then I just take a bunch of cards underneath this card, this random card that's sticking out, and place it on the top, and thus bringing my 5 of spades to the top. So I've controlled it, and so I love this. One of these things so beautiful. So at the moment where you push it in, it's already controlled to the top. That's the best thing. And here you go for another double lift, and this is you show the other card, and then you go for another color change. And this one is now where I have the double. It's super easy. I just push the card forward once, twice, or 3 times as a sucker move, and at the 3rd time, I just leave the 5 of spades there. Bring those cards back immediately, and I pick up another double. And I can do with the double what I want to do. Like maybe a color change. 1, 2, 3. Ha! That is how it works. Very nice visual magic. Once again, we have to remember, we are advised by Hugard and Brouet, and these guys have been big players in the game, not to overdose this. As a matter of fact, to keep it as calm as possible. Because we are performing magic out there with real people that is interactive, and that this is challenging people to engage with the routine, with their imagination, and to experience a group happening. Something that makes them laugh, wonder, talk, communicate, and you're the center of it, who navigates the attention and who brings the element of surprise, the element of wonder, the element of astonishment into the whole play. In the best case scenario, is all happening in the head of the spectator. That is key. So I'm enjoying that bottom slide reveal. I think your average guy would love it. The one where the card falls out the bottom like it comes from the middle of the deck. Just spent the last 20 minutes doing it. I don't really know what you're talking about. Is this something I just been showing here right now, or this is from this chapter, or is this just, are you just bringing in random stuff from the outside world of our little Royal Road to Card Magic bubble we're in here right now? Is the sound great, guys? Is the quality of the video right? Is the content dope? Are you with me, or did you all pass out because of the sheer heavyweight wisdom I'm shoving up your asses? Okay, I make a little break, and then we go back to the card table here, and then we're gonna take a look at some little cuts and add a little card trick that's done with the Charlier card, right? The Charlier card. Yes, Violent Vegan. So okay, we're on the same page here. Yes, this is one of the easiest things you can do. Laymen are going to just shit their pants. They enjoy this stuff so much. And I have this in this, I'm going to show you this. I have this, I explain this in this tutorial, because usually when you do something like this, when you get into this mode, this is how I do this. When I have usually a set. I like to have in a bar situation where I have a table or something, and I do things where I go 4 aces reveal, that like the Oblivion aces or something at the table. Maybe you do a little bit of a 3-cut Monty or something, you know, that engages people, that gets people into this playful mood, that opens up people, and they get into this. You know, the worst thing you can do is start performing stuff like this, because then people are just, they say it here in the Royal Road to Card Magic, they say never. Where is it? Here, they say it here on page 1. You should never appear deliberately to sell the onlookers. If you do that, you're gonna lose them. You actually get a warning here. They say they don't like it and may take their revenge on you at an awkward moment. You want to invite them to take part in this social situation, and you want to build up the trust in the social situation that following your lead into this games you're playing now, that this is worth their time and that they're gonna enjoy it. And if you fulfill this promise, now you can go and do some things like that, but never sell off your audience. Never make them feel stupid or dumb, or make them put yourself too high on the horse. They will come at you, man. So everybody is still in the house. Still here, Akuma Snows, Spike Mighty says sound, video and content is fantastic. Content is dope as fuck, violent vegan. Roland Faber says passed out from drinking, Bitburger. I'm still here too, Sebastian Henze. Yeah. Bitte ein Bit. I need to open myself another cold one here. Okay, I'm back on track. So we have a shift in the art form in Magic, right? Now, I was born 1975, so I was a teenager in the 80s and early 90s. We were the first group of children that has been directly targeted through advertisement, and we have been the first generation that, being children, been introduced also to the new technology. So I was there when the first personal computer, the Commodore 64, hit the market. Like, I don't know, a couple of years later than it did in the United States. My brother, who is 5 years younger than me, he would perform the first LAN parties, the first that would set up a network to play a Duke Nukem together or whatever, and they spent hours of time just setting it up, and then for, I don't know, 80% of the time they never got it running and stuff. And I remember the early days of the internet. I remember this the modem, you know, this weird sound it makes when you dialed in, and all this stuff, you know. And now fast forward 2016. That's almost when 2019. We're already YouTube started 2006, right? Now a lot of things have changed. A lot of things have changed. And from the way I remember it, and when I look at old material from back in the days, it feels so innocent, this stuff. I mean, even the action movies feel so innocent. It's ridiculous. And today, these young people, they are so keen on, they are so well informed about self-promotion, about product promotion, about social interaction on the internet. And of course, the market changed. And of course, an art form like Magic did change rapidly. I mean, before they knew it, like revolutionary guys like Jeff McBride, who would lecture with DVDs and videotapes, is outsmarted, and all this material is online. It has been a rapid transition from 1985 to today. It's crazy. I mean, think about it. For example, it's so funny. I just I bought a DVD. It's a remake of a videotape. It's anyways, doesn't matter. So you even had performers update their material, or teachers or performers update their material from tape to DVD, and almost by the time that they completed that, everything was in the cloud, right? So this is where we are. And of course, magic changed, and we have this video format out there. And where did it start? I mean, it was the great time of television. Up until today, I mean, look how huge Penn and Teller are in what they do. So television is still a relevant factor, and even big stage shows, big illusion shows are still out there. But the new thing that's video, and that's live streaming, and that is YouTube. And of course, this changes the art form, and that's not a bad thing. That is not a bad thing. David Blaine in the 90s, Street Magic, he shifted the perspective of the camera, just taking it like the onlookers would see it, like a stage reflection. He would take the camera to the back of the spectator and giving it for the first time the magician's point of view, and he would go out there and he would do this, and of course it would revolutionize the whole art form, the whole perception of the art form, but not so much for laymen, not so much for the audience, but very much for the people who are interested in the art form. And the mistake you easily make is that you forget that whenever material is shot, material is edited. So the camera and the editing always becomes a part of the illusion, because that's the medium by which the illusion or the performance is transported, and it becomes a part of it. Now, when you go out and just do street magic, you will be in a very different situation than what you saw as an onlooker watching the David Blaine stuff. You understand what I'm saying? It's a product itself. This perspective is designed to create a certain effect itself. And you have to liberate yourself from the idea that what you see when you watch magic trailers, when you watch magic shows, when you watch YouTube clips or something, that this is the same thing than actually being out there performing magic. It is not. And I know this I know this because I'm shooting magic for tutorials, for performances. I even shot a street magic session with Mo Jones from Motrix TV, who hasn't been uploading for over a year now, and I just couldn't get the guy on the phone. I hope he's out there. He's well. Anyway, so when we went out there, of course we were planning this. We were wondering, okay, what are we going to do, and what material are we going to choose so that we can, cross-cut this material. We wanted to do a video on upload on his channel as well as an upload on my channel, and we wanted to have both of us performing in both videos. So let's make this interesting. So as I said, I always wanted to do a very hardcore, a very down-to-earth sleight of hand based thing. I want to give this a try in a street performance, and he said, fair enough, I couldn't do this anyway, but I do some mentalism things, so more interacting and engaging with the people. And this was a great idea, because we said, by this we can show the range of what you can do. So, and then of course we had a camera guy. We set it up. We explained also beforehand to the guy what was happening and at what point he should be best. He would be best standing, because what I do, obviously, when I perform passes out there or shifts and stealing cards, I work with misdirection. And I fool 1, 3, 5, 6 people in front of me in this angle. They have no freaking chance, because I am in their heads. But if a camera guy stands just right there and films everything, you see everything. And this is material you cannot show because people do not understand this, and people will react online and they say, this guy sucks totally, he does not know anything about magic. But it's the other way around. It is people who do not know, who believe what they see on television is the real thing. Right? I'm just explaining this so that you understand this. What Hougarde and Breuer are teaching here is as rock solid, is as true as it always has been since people are trying to cheat with cards out there. You know, and actually it was really great. I did a little editing, I did a little cut, because in this one performance you would see a top change, right? And Mo, he left it in his edit, and he said to me, I wanted to show this my audience, and he pointed this even out in the video, and I said, look at this misdirection, how good this misdirection is, right? Because when I perform a color change and I'm safe with people, I don't put much effort, I'm just doing it like that, because they're not looking at it, right? I just do it like that. I don't need more time. Just in the right moment, they look up, I have the window of opportunity. Of course, if I have a camera burning and if I want to perform this, I have to set it up. I have to find the right angle for the camera, and then the color change, and then there needs to be a little motion so that you come with something like this, you know. So you would be here, something like this, with the camera. And of course, you can become so aware about things like that, which are, by the way, which is a whole dimension of practice itself. There is this there is this beautiful product out there, and once again, I don't have any advertisement contracts or something. It's Doc Ethan Card Under Glass. Doc Ethan Card Under Glass. It's $50 or something. If you want to spend some money on magic, this is something you definitely can buy. It is a 45 minutes routine of classic card magic, with the main theme of the selection returning under the glass in a bar set. And of course, Doug Eason has also then, next to a very precise explanation of the routines and why he is doing what he's doing and when he is doing it. He also has a toolbox where he explains the techniques, and of course he goes through the top change. And due to the fact that he's been performing this so often, and he's so aware about the misdirection, his window of opportunity is super small. I'm using such a window of opportunity, and I'm good with this. But it doesn't work with a camera. But this guy is so down. You don't even, and this lecture video, he says you don't even see it when I do it now, and then he does the top change, and you just look at it and it's like, oh man, that is so up to the point. So I'm just mentioning this. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you should, you know, not care and should be sloppy or something, because we live in the time we live. You know, we live with very high standards of sleight of hand performance. And probably a performance like Chin Lim's, what is it called? Millennial Act, world class. What is it called? I don't know. This thing he did. Where did he do it on Penn and Teller? Which is so boom, beautiful, brilliant, and that the level of sleight of hand is absolutely mind blowing. Yeah. Renner Fiber said Duke Nukem, awesome. Modem sounds and early chat rooms. Many you are making me feel nostalgic and old. Regarding Mo, is he alright? First noticed your channel through your crossover video. Well, I don't know, man. I hope he is alright. Yes. We are in a way we are old, you know, but I believe we're kind of we're Generation X, you know. I don't know what's wrong with them baby boomers. I don't know what the fuck's going on with them millennials, but I feel like that Generation Y is pretty dope. Right? I don't know, man. It's just the clock ticking. I believe that we live in a very privileged time when it comes to this one. If you take all the negativity out and if you take all the troubling things out for a second, don't do this on a regular basis because this drives you even more insane. You know, never force positivity. There's a lot of crazy things on and you got to keep sharp. You got to keep your critical thinking cutting edge because a lot of really nasty shit is going down in the world. But all of this aside for a second, has there ever been a time where generations could look into each other's what's going on with them? But we can do this now with social media. You just go into your baby boomer bubble. You go to your millennial bubble, and you go to your and then all the different milieux that's in there, and you get at least a very rough picture about who these people are. Or no, not the people, because every individual is way too specific to just, you know, scan them from such a distance. But you get a kind of a feel for the main topics and the main drive of specific generation. And has that any that wasn't possible before, right? Because generations kind of you know, have their places to be, you know, the children, they are in the schoolyard, and then there's the generation kind of in the middle, they are at the university or in the business world or entrepreneur world, and then there's those older folks, whatever they do, you know, and then you just meet at very limited locations with very limited time, and now you can browse, you can go wherever you want, right, with the internet, which is crazy, which I think is absolutely insane. Anyways, now I'm off topic here totally, but the point I think is clear. You got the message, you know what I mean? And I'm just saying this, all of this, because I'm so curious about it myself, and I believe it's so very important also for myself, because when I go out there and when I perform magic, and I'm mistaken in what I'm doing there, I will suffer. And I believe at this point here, with this lecture, the Royal Road to Card Magic, there's no need for doing so, right? That's it, that's all. Okay, I grab myself a cold one, and then we are going to look at some cuts here. Just a little bit of cutting. So by the way, all the everything we have been talking about, relevant links are always, as usual, in the info cards, also in the info box. All the tutorials, not all the tutorials, all the episodes of this live stream, Royal Road to Card Magic, are also in a series organized in a series. Today I shot the Cardini color change, which is an in-depth tutorial which comes with a little historical explanation of the name of the trick, because it's also out there as the ego trick, and I was really confused, and I was wondering, because I didn't know this, I was wondering what is this, why, and it's just the same thing. So I looked it up where it was, and I found it in Card Manipulations, which was public 34 by Hugard. There is the Cardini change, the Cardini pop-up change, which then has been renamed and redone by Garcia, who decided for whatever reason calling it the ego change, and now it's out there in both names. I go very much in detail into this color change. Just let me see if I can perform this right here, just like that. Now, was this even a double? I fooled myself with this one. So you come here and you make the card turn over. That was poorly performed, so let's do this one more time. And again here, guys, don't be too harsh on me. It's the angle of my hands where I don't really get it. So where I'm bang, like this. Yeah. Very nice color change. Very, very nice color change. Coming up, I will also do a do a tutorial on backhand palm. Yeah, where are we here from the angles? Bringing the card back. 1, 2, 3. Ha! Coming up. Great ideas for videos in the future, so you make sure to subscribe and hit notification bell if you haven't already, right? Because there's all of this coming up, and we keep on walking here on the royal road to card magic. Now I'm not finishing off here, I'm just going to tease you for what's coming, because we have a lot before us. We have the reverses for us, we have the Hindu shuffle, and I brought some of this already out in some tutorials. The classic force, we're going to talk about forcing here. I already got a tutorial series on forcing out here. Top and bottom changes, very, very important. And then arrangements and routines. And then there's part 3, platform tricks, which is just a hint side where the further journey would go if we take it really seriously. Because all of this enables you at this point, if you are able to build your own thing and you're able to do your close-up, your parlor set, the next step is would hit the stage then at the end of the book, right? Robert Ball Magic says, just wanted to say hello, you are very good. Thank you so much, Robert Ball. Welcome to the show. So, Naira Smith said, this is an awesome book. I can highly recommend it. Yes, it is an awesome book. It is an awesome book. So we got currently 10 folks watching. That's really cool. And we're in for 1 hour and 5 minutes. So just let's go to the last trick here, which works with the Chalier card. So we need 2 aces. Let's say we have the ace of diamonds and the ace of clubs. I've never done this trick here before. So, but I believe it works like this. So we need to bend the cards in one direction, and you can do this with this little flourish here or with this flourish. We bend the cards, and then in the performance, very casually, you give it one more ruffle, but you just ruffle the half of the cards, and you give them a real good bend inwards, right? And this creates, of course, you can see these gaps. Now, what you do, you take the bottom card, and you say, look, we got the ace of spades here, and then you cut this card into the deck, the ace of diamonds, and you cut it in here. Now you take a top card and you don't show it, but you say to the spectators, look, this is the ace of clubs, and I cut the ace of clubs now also into the deck. And now if I give it a shake, you will find those aces are being very acrobatic because the ace of diamonds jump back to the bottom of the deck and the ace of clubs jump back to the top. Nice, isn't that nice? Isn't that a nice one? So, what you need to know is the Chalier cut, and if you know the Chalier cut, this is pretty much self-working, right? I've got a tutorial series on them cuts on the Chalier cut, very simple, you know, push it to the top. Cut the deck in half, pretty much at the center of the pack. Your index finger pushes this card upwards here, and if you hold it properly, you will feel, oh, there is a lot of tension now. You can't go any further, and that's the moment where the thumb moves from the upper edge here to the outer left corner. Now you balance this deck here for a second as you keep on pushing the portion until it drops down. Just stretch out your index finger and the cut is complete. That is the Chalier cut in a nutshell. Very nice. If you have troubles with this, and if you want to learn even cooler one-handed cuts like the scissors cut or Tudor's revolution cut, or what I call the one-handed triple shifter, this is this beast, which I always finish up with the Tudor revolution cut. Playlist on my channel. If you go to my channel page, you will find all these tutorials and playlists. It's all out there for you guys, and it's all for free, and all of this is going down thanks to the OTHManiacs, which are the guys who made a pledge on Patreon. You are rocking awesome. Thank you so much. So that is the acrobatic aces here, and yes, we're working here with this gap you create if you bend the cards inwards, and you cover this with a flourish, and then you bend half of the pack inwards, you bend all them cards inwards, and then half of the deck outwards, and then and when you cut the cards now, you will find this situation. Easy to cut in there. It's basically a impromptu stripper. Now while we're at it, impromptu go stack. You notice you have a spectator. How would you do this? You have a spectator select a card, any card. Two of spades, any card, the two of spades, and no, two of spades. Is it there? I got it. Yeah, you got it on top. How would you do this? And how would you do this? How was the impromptu? Are you kidding me? Right. And you give them cards, one more card, and when you bring them down, you give them a band. I wouldn't know how to cover this now. You give them a band, and then you create also this situation. And now, when you put it in your hand, and you do it like with the key, with the haunted key, the card slides automatically to the position. All right? Impromptu haunted deck. Just a little side note here. Need to figure this out. Never performed this, but just things like this you can do, of course, also. Obviously, it's not as great as the gimmick versions out there of the haunted deck, or the where you work with invisible threads. And then we have another thing I want to show you. We have the pretty cut, which would look something like this, where you would cut here with the finger the cards like this. And it's a genuine cut. I just wanted to show you this, not to leave it out here. It's a really nice cut. I don't use it, but maybe it's something for you. And we got the self-cutting deck, where with the index I tried to practice this a little bit before the stream. You need to really free your mind, you know, to push them cards out here with quite force, and then they come jumping out. And if you catch them with the palm down, you have like this nice cut, self-cutting deck, like this, something like this. But as it is kind of challenging, because you will eventually drop some cards, and also you have to really, you know, get this into your head somehow, that you shoot them out. And somehow my brain is rebellion there. Said I don't want to do this. So because you have to really force the index in there to create this effect, and probably practice a little bit to catch them cards then. But it's something nice in there where we say when you can do just a little. It's a bit of a byplay. This is really a little byplay where you go like bang and cut the cards, right? Maybe you can combine this with catching a pinky break to stay in control of the card. Yeah. So we have the 4 of diamonds here on top. We shoot. That's a 4 of diamonds on top. We shoot the deck out. We bring it in here. We keep a pinky break, and then we control it back, and everything's back in order. If you want to play like this, you know, very, very, very lovely one. Maybe in addition, the easiest false cut you can do. I do it like this. Yeah, with this also swiveling motion. It's like the swing cut. Your thumb comes, and then your right hand moves and throws the top portion back down, and you naturally come into this position. And if you give it a break here, and you cut like this, in the onlooker's perspective, this looks like a genuine cut, but it's not. It just deceives my own eyes. It's really cool. Yeah, this is my favorite false cut. You know, when it's like just give them cards, one more cut, people like satisfied, nice cut. And now look, like how you do this when you say, look, we're going to have one card, the Jack of Diamonds, right? And I place the Jack of Diamonds right here into the deck. bang. Please square up the cards. Please square up the cards very well. And now my challenge is to cut very fast right to to your card. Let's see if I can do this. And here we go. Let's see if I made it. Take a look. And there's the Jack of Diamonds. We're like, oh the fuck! Like it very much. Yes, guys, and that's that. That is the chapter 12 of the Royal Road to... I'm sorry, section, chapter 13 of the Royal Road to Card Magic Miscellaneous Flourishes. You should never appear deliberately to sell the onlookers, and a trick of this type should be played down. In other words, such occurrences are so common with you that you do not even think this is one important enough to comment upon in real life performance situations with an audience engaging, you know, circling around you, completely in it, engaging with their imagination, laughter, fun, questions, heckling, everything's going down, people are going to drop beer and everything, you're gonna waste cards, you have to improvise all the time, you know, in the middle of it, you are cool as fuck, and if something goes wrong, you can always come up with a little something like this in between, which immediately will boost your reputation up, but you are just cool as fuck. This stuff is not even worth mentioning because you're a magician. You make stuff appear or disappear all the time. You change cards all the time. It's not so much big of a deal, right? Yeah. What do you say to that, my beloved subscribers, my beloved viewers, my beloved OTHManiacs? Did you have a great time? Did you enjoy this watch? Did you enjoy this ride? I had a blast of a time, and once again it was a tremendous privilege rocking and rolling with you, studying the art of magic, which is the art of staging tricks and illusions, in our case with an ordinary deck of playing cards. And our goal is, our destination is becoming the best magician only we can become. There is no one like you out there. There is no one who approaches the art form like you. You got stuff inside you nobody else got. You just gotta connect the dots. You just gotta find yourself and you just gotta bring it out. And it will be a blast of a time, and there is no stress upon you. You don't need to do anything. You have all the time in the world, and you will be super lucky if you play it right. And that's how simple it is. And this is how I roll down, and I'm having a fantastic time. Akuma Snow says, hell yeah. Akuma Snow loved it always. Enjoyed this. Mike Fenwick says, thanks brother, was freaking great. Right guys, so we are going to be back next Tuesday is the 27th of the August, and that is going to be then part 2. Oh, there's the camera. Part 2. We're talking about reverses. Now, who got them away? They hitting the brake here a little bit, seemingly. We're going back now to a technique which is the first technique we learn in the Royal Road to Card Magic. That is reversing a card at the bottom of the deck within the trick, the topsy-turvy cards. Now we're going to learn some other reverses in the book. We're going to take a look at the techniques in the book, but I will also share with you my favorite reverses. Because I incorporate the Cardini change, for example. I use this also as a reverse. I use this even as a card steal to palm a card. So we are progressing here now into the territory of a truly sophisticated sleight of hand, which is absolutely legitimate at this point in time, as long as we keep in mind what I have been saying all the time now, pretty much every live stream, every session for 1,000 times, so I will not say it now once again. Once again, you will find all relevant links in the info cards as well as in the info box. The whole series, if you want to binge watch, is there in a series format. You can also hook the community up in our Discord channel. I don't think I have the Discord linked in the info box, but you will find this on the channel, on my channel page, in the community tab. If you want to join in there and get to know each other. And then tutorials coming up on the Cardini change, tutorial on the backhand, vanish. Also, I will give you some advice for performing this one. It's going to be epic the next month with what's coming at the Royal Road to Card Magic, and I hope we are so close then together that we can together decide what is coming up, because I'm really open from this point. I have a lot of material on my desk anyways, a lot performing. I just don't make it shooting performances for you guys, and I want to do this so bad. I have Strangest Gallery, I have Whole Deck, I have Stripper, Svengali, I have tons of material here, and also I have a lot of working material with other objects like coins and ropes and balls and blah, blah, whatever comes along. But you know, time is a critical resource, as you might know, and I just don't want to, you know, I just want to walk with you guys together. So what is important to you? Share this with me. Let me know this in any video when something comes up. Let me know about it, and I will incorporate it in the plans for the future development and growth of this channel. And that's about it for tonight's show. I give you now another 30 seconds or 45 seconds to say goodbye to each other, as I roll myself another relaxing stick, and then we're done here, and then I'm just hitting the fin button, and we're good. Thank you so much once again for your support. Thank you so much for your engagement. Thank you so much for making all of this possible. You are freaking rocking awesome. Spark Madly, thanks for tuning in. See ya, guys and gals. Naira Smith, thanks so much for tuning in. Have a nice evening to you. All right, guys, that's enough time. Do you know the drill? Keep on practicing, practice well, and it will come to you. And in the meantime, rest assured, more magical stuff is going to be uploaded very soon. Thank you so much.
OTHMARIUS Magic. Like and subscribe.